I'm here with Dan Ariely, who is a behavioral economist from Duke. And we've got to start with Dan. What does that mean, the psychology of money? What is it?
So if you think about money, there's some very simple aspects of it. A dollar is a dollar is a dollar. But it turns out that's not how people think about money. When we come to think about money, the way we pay, for example, whether it's credit card or cash or a gift certificate, changes a lot. If you take the money and you transfer it into something else, like a bottle of wine, all of a sudden it feels very different. So we think about money as money, but the reality is that the way the money is being presented to us, the timing and so on, actually influences dramatically how we think about it and what decisions we make with this. And
give me an example.
I'll give you an example. So imagine a company. This is a big chip manufacturer. I can't tell you which one.
Amazon, let's say.
Well, okay, let's just say. And the people who come to work there come for 4 days, and then they have 4 days off. 4 days on, 4 days off. And on the days that they're on, they have very long shifts. They're 12-hour shifts. Should I shout a little bit more to cover the background noise? So they have 12 hours shift. Now, on the first day of the shift, they give people a target. And they say, if you get over this target, you'll get a bonus. And if you'll get below this target, there will be no bonus. Okay, that's the basic story. Now, imagine 3 types of bonuses. One is money, let's say $100. One is pizza. And one is a text message from the boss. Which one of those do you think will do better?
What's the answer?
Well, the answer is...
money. It's got to be money.
The answer is very interesting. So remember, these are 4 days. On the first day, they all do the same. But on the next day, when there's no bonus, the money actually takes a big dip. So what happens is that money is motivating when we get it, but the next day you say, well, yesterday I worked hard for money, today there's no money, I'm working actually less. And people worked 15% less than they worked in a regular day. A nice word from the boss increases how people perform, but doesn't have the same rebound.
Well, then talk to me about the excitement of technology. Everybody loves technology right now. Wearables. They say wearables, we all need them. It's going to change how we live our lives. Do you buy that, or you think people aren't going to change? They are what they are?
I think there's a lot of ways to think about how to change people's behaviors, and I think it's actually about saliency of information. So the reality is that we're really not good in thinking long term. Obesity, diabetes, smoking, all of those things are failures of thinking long-term compared to short-term. And I think that some of those devices are helpful in bringing things to the close proximity. So I really want to be healthy in 30 years, but it's not motivating. I also want to do 10,000 steps today. So the reality is that the way we design those things could have an effect. But it's a question of how we design them. So imagine a situation like Square. Square is a very interesting company.
Square.
Yeah, and they're teaming up with Starbucks to basically get people to take stuff off the shelf and walk by the cashier without paying. What will happen? People would spend more and not feel bad about it. Of course, then they'll get the credit card bill and so on. On the other hand, we can design electronic wallets that would show people how close they are to bankruptcy or how they're not doing well. So this technology in which we're measuring what people are doing every moment, we can do more of it and get people to be more responsible and behave in more consistent way or less responsible.
Then when I think about your work, you know who could use it? Tobacco companies, soda companies, trying to figure out how to take all this bad press and help them sell more product. What do you say to them?
It is true. I'll tell you, I got a call once from a big tobacco company and they asked me to come and give a talk and they offered me a lot of money for this. So I called the American Cancer Society. And I said, look, if I go to them, I'll give you all the money. Do you want me to go or not? And what do you think they said?
What did they say?
They said go.
No!
Yes, but I decided not to go anyway. But I think this is the danger. The danger is that if you understand human behavior, you can decide to use it for good or for bad. And there's lots of bad usages, so I try to stick to the good side.
All right, well, there's a ton of study on human behavior around the booming business of online dating. How does it really work in your assessment? Does it work?
So I've done lots of research on online dating, actually, and the reality is that it's not really working. And the reason
it's not working?
Well, online dating is not working.
Are you listening? Yeah.
And the reason for that is that people are experience goods and not description goods. So here's an experiment we did. Imagine I came to you and I say, give me a list of 20 of your best friends and 20 people you don't like so much. You like them, but not so much. And then I take these 40 people and I ask them to fill an online profile. And I come to you back with those without the names and picture and say, please sort them into two piles. The piles of people you love and the piles of people you don't love.
And
how much do you think would your online description help figure it out? The answer is not very much. Why? Think about the people you really love. What would it be about their online profile that you say, I would love this person or want to be their friends for life? So what happened is that in our attempt to take people and simplify them to hair color and religion and height and weight and so on, we're missing something very essential about the human experience. What does it mean to meet somebody?
But is the issue that all these people are saying what they like and what they want to be, but they're not actually representing who they are? Because that's what many people's issue is with Facebook data.
A little bit is that people are lying, but I think a big part of it is that we're not really good at describing those things. Like, what is it about an online profile that would predict real chemistry or real attraction? Not much of it. Now, I do think that there are some ways that we're doing better. So, for example, speed dating is a much better experience because you get to meet people and you get a better experience. Virtual dating seems to be working a little bit better because you get to meet somebody online and do something virtually together. So I think I'm very hopeful about technology, but the technology we have right now is not that promising.
Virtual dating, not so good for kissing. Thank you so much for joining us.